Welcome back to iShine Connect.
We're here with Robert Beeson, the founder of iShine, and I know so many people watch the show and lives are being impacted by this ministry, but they might not know how you started iShine, but I know that it came out of a family experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a single dad. I'm raising my 3 daughters on my own, and when we started iShine, it really was kind of for selfish reasons because there wasn't a lot out there for this age group that it was faith-based. There's Disney and Nickelodeon. So because I was alone with my girls so much of the time, I saw that there was this incredible need. And frankly, I really wanted something like iShine for my daughters because they really needed it. And well, we really needed it as a family. But I'd have to say that it's great that we're handling this topic because fractured families, being in a fractured family was actually the origin of iShine. It's what God brought out of our family.
Yeah, that must have been so crazy, but it's such a huge blessing to know that you were just focused on the Lord and that He was able to give you this vision for iShine. And I know that you have to have just some words of wisdom or encouragement for other parents that are going through similar situations or even kids that are in fractured families.
Well, I think the thing to remember as a kid, I'm a product of a divorced home as well, is that you're not alone. I also think that single parents need to hear that you're not alone as well, because it can feel very lonely and very isolated in that place. But if these kids can realize that more than their mom, their earthly mom and dad love them, their Father in heaven adores them, has a plan for their life, is absolutely just crazy about them, and He is not surprised by this situation that they're going through. And not to think that it's going to just get fixed automatically, but to trust God on a day-to-day basis that He will get you through it. There are so many testimonies of people that have come out of single-parent homes or divorced families that have gone on to do amazing things. I mean, even in the Bible, there are people that have gone through that. Moses, you know, that it's just out of tragedy, out of brokenness, God can do amazing things. But in the moment, for single parents and for kids in single-parent homes, it's important to know that you're not alone.
Yeah, well, we definitely are just so grateful that you and your family are just so open about sharing your story because I know it's going to help so many other kids. And I know you did bring your girls and they're going to come up and share with us in a little bit. But of course, we have been talking about how great the ministry of iShine is. And we have a clip that I think really relates to what your family may have gone through before, but what a lot of kids are going through as well.
Right.
Hey, guys, can I talk to you for a second?
Haven't you ruined tonight enough already?
Listen, Jax, I'm really sorry I hired strangers to be your parents for the night. That wasn't right at all. And Max, I'm sorry too. My uncle just told me about your situation. And you've got to know I had no idea you were orphans and that iShine Academy took you in.
Yeah, our parents left us here. They just never came back for us. Luckily, Mr. Bridges didn't kick us out.
Well, since I know a little something about the two of you, can I share something about myself?
Of course.
Okay. See, my parents, they're divorced, and when I found out, I took it really hard. Although they kept telling me it wasn't my fault, I kept blaming myself. And that's when I started acting out. And then my dad left, and he never came back.
You know how we feel.
I'm so sorry, Audrey. I never knew this happened.
Thanks, guys. And luckily, my aunt and uncle took me in. And they started telling me a little bit about Jesus. Some of it's starting to really sink in. I still mess up from time to time, but I'm working on it.
I think we all know you're doing better than us.
That's true.
I mean, we all have our flaws. But thank you for the support.
You bet.
So, why does Mr. Bridges have this dumb family night anyways?
You know, I've learned something from my aunt and uncle. They consider anybody family. I mean, they took me in without any question. And now that you guys are here, you're his family too.
We are?
Yeah, you are. He sent me here to get you guys, saying, I need my whole family here at family night.
And that's us?
Of course it is. Now, will you help me get out of this jam I got myself into?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hop on.
Okay.
Max?
Only if you owe me big time.
Oh, I owe you big time.
All right, let's go.
We're here with the Beeson girls, and Robert, will you introduce us to your daughters?
Absolutely. Zoe's my oldest, firstborn, and Skylar, Zara, who you just saw in the clip.
And so you're an actress, no big deal. I love it, that's so cool. So your dad was sharing with us a little bit earlier about some of the things that your family has gone through and how iShine started, and I know that must have been a very interesting road and is still a very interesting road for you girls, and wanted to ask y'all, like, what's one of the hardest things about divorce, you know?
I think the hardest thing is like only having one parent.
And you're usually used to seeing your parents when you're born, like every day. And then when they get divorced, you only see like either one parent once a week and the other the next week.
Your dad was talking about how when things seemed really hard, he was just praying and God gave him this vision for iShine and this ministry. And what are some of the things that God has done in your family's lives that, you know, that you've seen, oh, cool, like life is really crazy, but God did this, and that's cool to focus on?
Well, iShine, for one. If this didn't happen, then we wouldn't be talking about this right here. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, without your dad even, you know, listening to what God had said, you know, about starting this, you wouldn't have the chance to share with other kids. And has God brought the three of you girls together even closer, or the four of you all? Has he, you know, connected your family a little closer at all through this?
Yeah, like usually at night we'll pray as a family, so just bring a lot of different problems and pray about it each night and sometimes mornings.
Yeah, that's so good. So you're talking about it on the set of iShine, but it's real. At home, you know, you have an open floor to talk about it as well. So that's so good. What advice do you guys have for other kids that are going through this? Because there may be a kid that's watching this right now, and it could be their first day going through this or their first week. What do you have for a girl that's just like you, or for a guy that's just like you that's going through this?
Yeah, just like a lot of other people go through it, and you're not the only one. And I'm sure each one of you has like a friend that you can trust and you can talk to them about it. And like also, I'm trying to get used to this too because I am still working on my relationship with God, but I think praying and talking about it with him would really help a lot.
I think it's really important for kids and for adults. I mean, one of the most important components of getting through something like divorce is talking about it. And first of all, finding someone that's trustworthy to share these things with, and somebody that has a good spiritual grounding, whether it's a youth pastor, a friend that's an adult of, you know, your parent. It's critical to not go through this alone. Yeah. Because that's where real problems can set in, is when we try to take this on ourselves. And God has given us a lot of people around us. It's just a matter of looking for those things and saying, you know, who are those people that I really trust, that I can just share my heart with? That they're not going to try to fix me or fix the situation, but that I can walk this path with. So I think it's a great question, and I think it's a critical thing for kids and for adults to do, is to find someone to talk to.
Definitely, yeah. Well, thank you guys for talking to us. I mean, it's been amazing, and I know that your openness and your transparency is gonna definitely help some kids and some families and some parents at home. So thanks a ton, and for everyone watching at home, we'll see you guys in a few.
It's time to shine right now. What would happen if we actually decided to change?
If we used the Bible.
If we used the Bible.
The Bible.
To help us with everyday situations.
Our friends, our music.
Our families.
Is there any topic the Bible doesn't cover? This is
iTopics.
You know, I was thinking the other day, what makes a family a family? Is it the blood running through our veins, or the fact that we live in the same house? So I was reading in Matthew 12:46, and it talks about how Jesus is speaking to a crowd of people when his mother and his brothers come up. So someone comes and asks Jesus if he has time to talk to them. And he says, "Who is my mother? Who are my brothers?" And then he pointed to his disciples and said, "Look, these are my mother and brothers. Anyone who does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." What he's saying here is that if you've accepted him into your life, then you're already part of his family. In Galatians 4:4, he says, "But when the right time came, God sent his son, born of a woman, subject to the law. God sent him to buy freedom for us who were slaves to the law, so that he could adopt us as his very own children." You know, when I was 6 years old, my parents adopted my sister. She was 14 at the time. Now 13 years later, her stocking hangs beside mine at Christmas, and my dad walked her down the aisle, just like he will for me someday. Just because she's adopted doesn't make her any less my sister. The really awesome thing about being part of God's family is that even if your family is broken, and even if you feel like you're alone or abandoned, you have brothers and sisters in Christ. And you have a Father who will never leave you, never fail you, and never abandon you, no matter what.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.